everybody, welcome back to Real Good Pilates. I'm Michelle, and today I have for you a Mat Pilates workout using a small stability ball as our prop. So we're going to get into some fun, kind of intermediate and advanced level exercises after we get in a good warm-up. So I hope you really enjoy it. Let's get started. We're going to come down onto your mat, place the ball between your knees, and then lay down on your backs. So have your feet just a comfortable distance apart. You should be able to keep the ball in place, but you don't really have to squeeze in on it too much just yet. So place your hands onto your belly somewhere. And I just want you to take a big breath in and then exhale, let that air go. Good. So breathe in through your nose. And then exhale out through your mouth and feel that tightening happen of the abdominals under your hands. Good. Do that a few more times. Inhale, really breathe wide into the sides of your rib cage. And then exhale, feel the abdominals draw away from the hands. Good. A few more times like that. Now as we breathe out, I want you to also squeeze the ball in the same nice, slow, compressive speed, and then release as you inhale. Good. Do that again. So the length of your exhale and the length of the pressure on the ball should be the same. And then inhale to release. Yes, so the more air you breathe out of your lungs, the tighter that squeeze gets on the ball. Good. Let's do two more. Just feeling that connection of the inner thighs and the abdominals with the breath. Very good. Okay, do that one more time. Keep your back stable as we squeeze the ball. Very good. Now take the hands behind the head. Inhale just like we did. Exhale, continue with the squeezing, and we're also going to curl our shoulder blades up off of the mat. Inhale, release the ball and lower back down. Very good. So leaving the back nice and stable. Your lumbar spine shouldn't change. Just the upper back is what's changing shape. Exhale, fold, and then release. Good. Try to go a little bit slower than maybe you normally would in a crunch. I want you to spend a lot of time with that compression onto the ball. Good. Let's do that 3 more times, keeping the chin off of the chest. Very good, you guys. Now curl up this time and hold. Now keeping this back stable here is going to get even harder. I want you to spring off your toes and lift both feet to tabletop. Roll through the feet to replace, and then lower the upper body down. Yeah, so we squeeze the ball and curl. We float the feet up and down, and then lower the body down to the mat. Good. Do that a few more times. Squeeze. Now maintain that squeeze as you lift and lower the feet, and then lower the body down. Good. Couple more times. Up. Try to keep that stability through the torso as the legs move. Very good. If you're having trouble keeping your back stable, you can go 1 foot at a time on the lift and the lower, and that will make this a little bit easier. Yeah, going at the same time really challenges that whole lumbopelvic area to stay still. Good. Now, once your legs lift up, end up with them straight, and then replace the feet and lower. So all at the same time, try to crunch up and have straight legs, lay down as the feet lower. So getting a little bit quicker tempo, up in 1 count, down in 1 count. Good. Squeeze the ball more as the legs get to straight. Good. Heavy through the ribs. If you need to keep more of your low back on the mat to be stable here, that is just fine. Last one. Hold up and stay. Now keep your shoulders up. Lower the legs. Bend the knees and reach to the ceiling. So we drop. We drag the toes and lift. 1, in, up. So good. 1, 2, 3. One more time. Lower, bend, reach. Now let's reverse that. Bend the knees, scoop out to your long legs and lift. Bend, scoop, lift. If it's too intense, don't drop the feet so low. Keep it a little higher off the ground. So good, you guys. One last time. Bend, scoop, reach. Now pause with the legs up, curl a little higher, and then set everything down on the mat. Whew. Okay, good. Now take the ball out from between the knees. Set the feet back on the mat. Lift your right leg up to tabletop and hold the ball in your left hand and set it on that right shin. Okay, this may need to be placed a little differently for everybody, but start with it on your shin and kind of the tips of your fingers on the ball. Okay, your free hand is going to go behind your head. Inhale to get ready. We're going to do a couple things all at once. We're going to roll the ball up, straighten the leg, and try to rotate so that the ball gets to the outside of my ankle, and then lay down and return. Yeah, do that again. So I stretch the leg, I roll the ball around the side, flex the spine, and then release back down. Good. Now, you could do this without very much pressure on the ball, and it's kind of easy. Yeah, maybe the coordination is tricky, but if you really want some good work for the abdominals, when you curl up, you're going to squeeze the ball as hard as you can between your hand and your leg, almost like you were trying to pop it. Yes, breathe out, find that squeeze, and then release. So good. That gives a little resistance through the core, and then lower down. Good, let's do two more. Get that left shoulder blade off of the mat. Now curl over and stay, and I just want you to take little pulses, rolling the ball up and down with as much squeeze as you can. Up, 3, leave the leg stable, 2, 1, and then rest on down. Whew. Okay, other side. Left leg up, right hand pins the ball to that shin, left hand to the head. Okay, inhale to prepare. Exhale, we roll over to the side, extend the knee, release and lower. Yes, as straight as you can get the leg. Try to aim for vertical through that thigh. Good. Now start to really focus on that compression in on the ball. Good. See how far around the side of the ankle you can make that ball go. So we're getting a nice deep twist and flex of the spine. Good. Last 2. Now last one, hold at the top and go for your pulses so the leg stays stable. And it's the upper body that pumps. 4, 3, good, 2, 1. Come down and relax. Whew. Very nice, you guys. Okay, so tabletop both of your legs now. So getting a little bit trickier on the coordination. Place the ball on both shins. Okay, we're going to still be rotating and rolling the ball up one leg while the opposite free leg reaches forward into a scissor. Okay, so to start, place your right hand behind your head, have the left hand on the ball. Now I'm going to roll the ball towards my right ankle, reach that leg up just like we did, and my left leg is going to extend forward. Now as I lay down, I reset, I switch hands, and now my new hand is behind my head to go to the other side. We twist and reach, lay the head down and lower, and you'll get the feel of it the more we do. Yes, so as I'm curling up, that's kind of when my new hand is coming behind the head. Reach and lower. If you don't need the hand behind the head, feel free to reach that arm maybe forward instead to get a little bit more challenge, and release. Good, keep it going. Again, we're trying to pop the ball between the hand and the foot. Press and lower. So it's not just decorative, it's really giving us something to push into. So good. Now let's pause to one side and hold and do those same pulses with the upper body. Yes, the difference here is our front leg is floating. If that's too intense, place the forward leg on the mat. 3, 2, 1. Come down and switch right away to the other side. Roll and hold, and then pulse. Pulse, really squeeze the glute of that hovering leg. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then rest on down. Whew, good. Okay, last thing here, going off of this same kind of pattern, lift both legs back up. Okay, a little bit easier coordination, but not much easier on the abdominals. We're gonna keep the ankles together and straighten both legs. So nod the chin, roll the ball to the both feet, curl up, and then lower down. Exhale, flex, and then lower. Good. Now getting your legs fully straight is not important. Get them as straight as you can and try to find some squeeze on the ball. That's it. That is not easy to get the shoulder blades off of the mat here, but do your best. Good. If it's just too much, you can leave your head down and still find that squeeze on the ball. It'll just be a little bit more quaddy, less abs, which is totally fine. Let's do 2 more. Now last one, curl up and stay and do those same upper body pulses. Hold the legs strong. 3, 2, 1, and then feet come down and rest. Very nicely done, you guys. All right, let's counteract all that forward flexion we were doing and open up and work on the back a little bit. So come down to your mat, turn your legs out, lie down on your stomach. Now you're going to take the ball and you're going to place it behind your head, kind of in that groove where your neck meets your skull. Okay, so having the ball there is going to give some nice feedback for the muscles on the back of our neck, which are really important for our posture and that whole kind of connection of those back muscles. So place the ball there, fingertips on, elbows open wide, and then rest your elbows on the floor to start. So my nose is kind of hovering off the floor, but my elbows are touching. Now have the tops of the feet on the floor, draw the abs up, breathe out to get ready. As you inhale, I want you to push your head up into the ball so much that it makes your elbows come off. You can open the elbows slightly, and then you're going to reverse that to come down. Lower the spine and just let the elbows find the mat. Do that again. Have it come from your head. I'm retracting and pushing my head into the ball. That's what makes my arms and spine lift. And then we come back down. Yes, so pushing with the head, then the rest of the spine follows. Very good, you guys. Couple more times. So really zeroing in on those muscles that draw the head back. Yes, so really good to work on those muscles that kind of help draw the head back and up into a nice tall posture. Good. A couple more times. So if we spend a lot of time hunched forward, oh, this is probably very difficult. Yes, but that's good. That's a good thing to work on. Push and open the chest and then lower down. All right, you guys, one more time. Now come down and pause, and we're going to add on some leg lifts. So at the same time as our back is lifting, inhale, both feet are going to come off the ground. So I'm lifting from my glutes and then gently replace as my body lowers. Inhale, everything floats. Exhale, we replace. Good. Couple more. Keep the abs drawing up and lower. Good. Few more times. So working on that whole entire back chain of the body. Last 2. Good. Now last one. Keep your body up and stay and start swimming the legs. Breathe in for 5 counts and out for 5 counts. Good. Ooh, that's a lot of endurance for those back muscles to keep the head pushing into the ball. Good. We'll just do a couple more sets here. Try not to wobble side to side. Good. Last one. Now pause with the legs floating. Lift everything higher and then come down to the mat. Whew. All right. Take the ball out from behind your head. Push off of your hands and just take a stretch back over the feet. Oh, very good. Hey, that is some good work for those back muscles. So coming onto our side next, maybe roll your wrists out. We are going to spend some time on our hands. If you need to modify down on your elbows, that will definitely work. So sit with your knees together, ankles together. Your nearest hand is on the floor, and your top hand is going to hold on to your ball. So reach your arm out to the side, pull the ribs up away from the ground. We're going to go into kind of a modified side plank on our shins. So you're going to lift your hips up, squeeze the glutes, and just stack your two arms so they look like one long line, and then lower everything down. And then do that again. Lift, and then lower. So we're inhaling as we bring the hips up. Exhale to lower down. Good. Make sure your hand is a little forward of your pelvis. Very good. Now let's add on here. We're going to lift up and stay. Keep the glutes squeezing. You're going to rotate the spine and feed the ball underneath your bottom arm. Now rotate the other way. Open your chest and look to the ceiling. Now face the front and find a big stretchy side bend, and then sit the hip back down. Good, we do that again. Drive the hand into the floor, find your side plank, and then we twist in kind of all directions to the ground. Open the chest to the ceiling, and then find a big stretch. Let the ball fall overhead, and then lower down. Good, 2 more times. So kind of learning this pattern of the spine, because we're going to advance this next to make it more challenging. Good, feel those obliques to make those spinal movements happen. All right, 1 more time here. We lift, keep the glutes tight as we rotate so the hips don't drop back, they stay in place, overhead, and then come on down. Very good. Now take your top leg, you're going to externally rotate it, place the sole of your foot on the floor right in front of your bottom ankle, okay? Everything else is in the same position. This arm is going to rest on the knee. So now we're going to end up in a full side plank with the knees straight. You can always modify back down on your knees. The feet have to swivel here, so my heels kind of swing back to help me get up into the plank. All right, so let's just plank first. Swing the heels back, make the arms into a long line. Now turn the top knee out and sit back down. And we do that again. Lift, squeezing the inner thighs, and then we lower down. Good, so just like before, just kind of memorizing this position. And now we're going to add on all those rotations. So we come up and hold. We're going to thread the needle under. The hips can pike. And then drop back to your plank to twist to the ceiling. Side bend and push the hip to the ceiling. And then come on down. Good, do that again. Side plank 1. Pike and rotate 2. Twist to the sky 3. Side bend 4, and then sit to the hip 5. So good. 2 more times. Good. Watching the ball wherever it goes. That's it. Last time, you guys. I know it's a lot of work for that bottom arm. Connect the legs together. Super strong through the lower body. And then take a seat. Whew. Very good. Okay, shake it out. Let's do that on the other side. At least that hand gets a little break now. Okay, so start with the knees and ankles together. Hand slightly forward. Arm reaches. Okay, do a couple. Practice, kind of tester lifts. See if you need to adjust your placement at all. Very good. So stacking the arms and lower. Yes, really engage the glutes to drive the hips forward. Now stay at the top and we'll rotate under, rotate over, side bend and stretch. Your top knee gets closer to the floor and then lower down. Good. All right, 2 more times. Lift, lower body is solid. That arm is solid so that the chest and spine are free to move. Good. Last time. Good. So really find the ball. Having the ball kind of helps you know where to look and kind of direct the upper body. Very good. Okay, advancing. If that works for you, turn the top foot out. Coming down to your elbow is always an option. Feet further from your body is easier, so keep that in mind. Here we go. Do your tester side planks. Lift and then lower. This coordination of the ankles swinging, it's one of the hardest parts. Obviously, the strength element is tricky, but getting the feet where you want them is not easy. So practicing that here. Now let's add on. Hold your side plank, rotate, allow the hips to pike, reach the ball to your back ankle, face the front, twist to the ceiling, side bend, and then sit to lower. Good, that's a lot of elements. Up, pike under, chest lifts, arm falls behind, side bend, and then sit. Good, you guys, let's do 2 more. Up. Even if you're just holding your plank, that is a really good way to get strong in this position. Yes, so no pressure. If you need to dial it back today, last time. Open, side bend, and then come on down. Whew. All right, shake your hands out. Come on to all fours. We are gonna put the ball between our ankles. So come on down. Make sure the ball isn't actually touching the floor. So it's kind of up in between the heels. All right, so now tuck your toes under. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Push the floor away from you, and then we're going to come up into a plank from here. A good modification would be to stay on your knees. This can absolutely be done on your knees. So come on up to your plank. Press the hips forward. Make sure the feet are close enough together to have a good bite onto the ball. Very good. Now take a breath in. You're going to rock back over your heels, bending your knees, and then exhale, come back to your plank. Do that again. Inhale to bend, exhale to push. So the kneecaps stay relatively close to the floor, and I'm trying to push way back, get a ton of my weight over the feet, and then come back to the hands. Good. Now, like we talked about, this can definitely be done with the knees down. So just know that option is there for you. Good. Take your time. Feel like you're pushing your mat away from you as you hinge and then return. Good. Couple more. Sit and then press. So good. Last one. Now pause in your plank. Heels stay high. You're going to pike up, tail to the ceiling, and then return to your plank. Do that again. Pike and then return. Good. If that modification of having your knees down is working for you, you can pike here and then come down to the knees on the mat. Lift and then lower. Good. Stick with your version that's working. Up and down. Okay, next layer is going to be to remove one hand in your pike, reach to your opposite foot, and then return to the plank. So I lift and reach, alternating hands and lower. That's it. Squeeze the ball. This is really tricky with our feet being so narrow in order to grip the ball. So do your best to not swing your hips side to side, up and down. Good. Try to fold in half. Use those abdominals to close the distance. Last 2. And last 1. Whew. All right, take a break. Knees down. Sit back on the ball. All right, next we're going to go into some push-ups with some variation of the ankles on the ball. So any of this can be done down on your knees, or most of it. So let's give it a try. You can drop down to your knees if you need to. So come up into your plank, connect those ankle bones in on the ball, and we're just going to go into some push-ups. So whatever that looks like for you, breathe in, elbows bend, breathe out, and push the floor away. Inhale. And then exhale. Yes, try to think of the ball as like an asset. Yes, so we're using it to help connect the inner thighs. to generate some power through the legs. Good. Your elbow bend can be small. Whatever your push-up is looking like today is just great. Let's do 3 more. Last 2. Last one. Now pause in your plank. Now roll one ankle on top and hold. And we're going to do a couple of push-ups with the ankles stacked. So that makes the lower body a lot less stable. Let's do 3 more. Good. Last 2. You can always just hold plank. 1. Now set that foot down. Switch. Roll the new ankle on top. Squeeze tight. And then push up. Lower and press. Lower. So good. 3 more. 2. 1. Set the foot down. And then sit back. Whew. Amazing. Okay, good. That was super tricky. All right, next we are going to sit with our legs on the ball forward. So take your legs, you're going to put your ankles on top of the ball. So your ball's kind of in that curve between your heel and your calf. Lovely. Try to have the ankles all the way together if that's comfortable. Now put the hands behind you on the mat with your fingertips kind of angled on the diagonal. Okay, you're going to draw your shoulders down, lift your chest up. Now, squeeze the feet to touch and push down on the ball as hard as you can and then release it. Nice and easy. Just do that a couple times. See how much force you can put into the ball and then release. Good. Trying not to hyperextend your knees. Okay, so this pressure on the ball is really going to be important for what we do next. If it's not there, you're kind of likely for your feet to roll off, which is not a big deal, just kind of annoying and gets us out of whack. So put as much pressure on the ball as you can. Now maintain the pressure. You're going to lead with your tailbone and tuck under. Now very slowly articulate your hips up. Let your head fall back. Feel a stretch for the front of the body. Now reverse, nod the chin. Roll through your upper, middle, lower spine, and then come down. Do that again. Now, I think the hardest part is keeping my shoulders pushed away from the ears and not falling off the ball. That's pretty hard too. Roll through and then release. Whew, a couple more times. It looks way easier than it is. This ball adds this crazy instability element and then lower down. All right, you guys, let's do this one more time, and then we are going to add on some more fun. Good. Now, place the hips down, circle your arms up and around, and take a stretch over your legs, keeping the hands lifted. Now, we're going to articulate the spine, tuck under, and very slowly roll down to the mat. Keep the feet connected to the ball. Now, let your head find the floor and stretch your arms back. Good. Now, we're going to reverse this. Lead with the arms. Tuck under, roll up to stretch over your legs, circle your arms up and around till the hands are behind you. Now set the hands on the floor and do one of our hip rolls just like before. Lift and then lower. So we're just connecting these two movements together. I dive over my legs, circle the arms up and around. Once my hands are over my feet, I roll to the floor. Very good. Reach back. Return up to sitting over the legs. My arms circle up and around. That way I can just tuck under. Hands are there to catch me to lift. So good. Couple more. Try to flow this together so it's seamless. Arms up and forward, and then body rolls down. So good. Very nice. I find the arm circle at the top and then lift the hips. Good, you guys. This will be our last one. Once we make it to the floor, we will stay down. Ooh, so nice. All right. Now take the ball between your ankles, stay down on your backs, and we're going to work some teasers and some rollovers, and then we'll connect them together. So reach your legs out to straight with the ball between your ankles. Arms reach back overhead. Okay, ribs are connected. The spinal movement is going to be very similar to those roll-ups we just did on the ball. So my arms are going to lead up just like before. I nod my chin, squeeze the ball, and float my straight legs off of the ground. Match the arm line with the leg line, and then just reverse that. Tuck under, legs find the mat, and I roll back to the start. Good, arms lift. Exhale, nod. Now the squeeze of the ball really helps to smooth out that transition. And then I return and reach back. Good, you guys, couple more times. Chin nod, squeeze the glutes. Try to pop the ball as you lift the legs. And then lower. All right, let's do this one more time. Good. Okay, the next time you get to the floor, stay down there, place the hands on the mat, lift the legs to the ceiling, and now we're going to work on our rollovers. So lower the legs on the diagonal, inhale, lift to the ceiling, and curl the tail off the mat. Get the ball and the feet as close to the floor as you can. It might even touch. Now level out the legs, roll through the spine, and you're going to end up back where you started on the diagonal. So we inhale and lift, exhale, scoop through imprint to roll over. If the ball touches the floor, you'll get a nice stretch. Now to roll down, level out your legs with the ground, and then roll back to the start. Yes, it's a very difficult exercise, so just do your best. You can always come back to this and improve it. Good. All right, let's do this one more time, and then we're going to combine it with our teaser into one smooth movement. Good. Okay, now rolling down. By the time my tailbone hits, my chin has nodded. I'm already starting to roll up. The legs never touch the floor, and then we roll back, set the hands down, and begin our rollover. Yes? So on our regular teaser, we took the legs all the way to the mat. This time we're keeping them off the whole time. That's it. Set the hands down and curl to the shoulders. So good. So try to weave this together however makes sense in your body. It should feel smooth. Hopefully, it's not going to feel easy, but it should feel kind of continuous and fluid. Good. Now I'm almost lifting my head before my tail even hits to smooth out that roll up. Good. All right, for our last one, we're going to pause up at the top of our teaser. Hold here and try to balance. Lift the arms to the ceiling and just stay for 5. Chest lifted 4, 3, 2, and then set your feet down, bend the knees, and just take a stretch forward. Whew. Wow, nicely done, combining those exercises. All right, we are going to finish with a good stretch. So take the ball in one hand, bend your knees, and put your feet down hip width apart. Free hand is going to go behind you on a diagonal. We're going to lift the hips, make an arc with the arm holding the ball, and almost find kind of a diagonal bridge, stretching the hip flexors. Good. Now set the hips down, switch hands, and go to the other side. I go up and back watching the ball as my knees drive forward, and then lower. Very good. Switch hands. Lift. So all of those teasers and roll-ups and rollovers, that was a ton of ab and hip flexor work. So this stretch is really opening up those muscles that we were working. Good. All right, you guys, let's do one more time on either side. Try to let your head hang and just release through the front of the legs. Very good. Now sit on the mat, reach your legs long, a little wider than your hips. Place your hands on the ball and just roll it forward and release into a stretch. Take a breath or two here. Letting your weight kind of fall into the ball. Good, do that one more time. Good, roll yourself back up. And with that, we are all done with today's Pilates workout using our ball. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave it a like down below. Be sure you're subscribed to the channel, turn on all your notifications, and please share this video with a friend, and leave me any requests or feedback for future videos down in the comments below. And I will see you next time. Bye!